With an MLB Network and at-bat subscription, stream the MLB Network 24/7, plus listen to every postseason game live. Visit MLB.com/at-bat for details. We're going to take you from our early game out there at American Family Field to the bank. Citizens Bank Park, where the Phillies had the best home record in all of baseball with 55 wins. Of their last 18 home postseason games, they've won 13. And this year was the most home wins they've had since 1977 when they played at Veterans Stadium. Ooh. Just a little different of a field, huh, Jimmy?
Just a little bit, slightly.
Playing on concrete. How did we get here with the Phillies? Well, they had their most wins since 2011. They had that 13-game advantage in the NL East. They had the best record in baseball since the trade deadline. Schwarber was unbelievable. The starters picked up the slack with some injuries, and we will see Christopher Sanchez this evening. For the Dodgers, well, they're just the model of consistency. 12 of the last 13 years they've won the division. In those first two games, 18 runs. In the wild card, most runs in the first two playoff games for the Dodgers since 1956. The pitching is healthy. Shohei is unbelievable. It's a matchup everyone is excited about.
People talk about being intimidated or the stage being too big for other players, but do you actually live for these type of moments?
I'm sure I'll be nervous at times, but more than that, I'm just really grateful that I get to play baseball, and at this time of the year, and just being healthy is really important to me. So I'm just grateful for that.
In my opinion, the talent is pretty evenly matched across both teams. They're extremely talented over that clubhouse, and we obviously have confidence in the guys we have. So whoever comes up in those big spots and is able to put the ball in play, find the gap, it might not necessarily be the big home run that wins this series. I think it's going to be doing the little things correctly.
What a matchup we have. Some of the star power. Overall, 4 different players that have won MVPs, 5 Cy Young Awards, the top 2 favorites for MVP this year, the batting champion, the 2 top home run leaders in the NL, the reigning World Series MVP, and Christopher Sanchez is also going to be a Cy Young finalist. What a matchup we have.
Winner.
From a Phillies perspective, what do you think the mindset is, Pedro?
I like Christopher.
I hear you, but that boy in Pittsburgh, whew.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey,
I don't disagree with you, but we just know how it goes.
I think you're gonna change the way you see it once you see Christopher Sanchez opening this game today.
I'm a Christopher Sanchez fan, brother.
Do against the Dodgers. But you know what? It's lovely that we chose the National League this year, because this is a matchup that nobody can actually take their eyes off of it. But I like both teams. I like both teams, the way they go. But when you see Schwarber and you see Turner there, and you know Christopher is going today, yes, they are really strong as the Dodgers are. But the Dodgers have some players like sneaky under the table, like Teoscar and Smith, and those guys that
Kike,
they do.
Senor October.
Kike is not sneaky. He's like Babe Ruth when October comes. Other than that, he's like, I'm in there.
And we're not talking about
Suarez. So
no doubt about it.
We're not talking about Pages.
Yes.
And Muncy, I think balances the lineup so well because he takes pitches, and they all take pitches. That's the uniqueness about the Dodgers, is that they can take pitches, they can wear you out with walks, they can take you deep, and they can hit the line drives. They get what you give them.
Yeah, but they got their handfuls today with Sanchez. Sanchez is a guy that's going to attack the strike zone. He's going to pitch under the bats. He's going to throw his fastball up. He's going to move the ball around. He's long out front, and as good as a lineup as the Dodgers have, Sanchez is a great starting pitcher, and he's learned how to pitch. We've watched him develop into what he is this year. He's a guy, he's not afraid of the moment, and when Wheeler went down, we really saw him step up. He was, not that he was beneath Wheeler, it was just Wheeler is Wheeler. But when Wheeler went down, that lampshade came off, and it's like, yo, this guy's been here all season long, and he gets to start game 1. I love it.
When you went into the Phillies Ring of Honor this season, you talked about, hey, we got our title, go get yours.
Yep.
I feel like the Phillies are where the Dodgers were a few years ago. They keep taking shots at it. They just can't get through. And if Harper can finally win one, mentally what goes into this team right now? Because they've been so close for 3 years in a row now.
They definitely have, and each year they've regressed, unfortunately. And if you're the Phillies, you're saying that can't happen again. Everything has went right for them. We saw that home stretch, that stretch of 10 games that really separated them from the division, just kind of closed it out. But they just haven't found that magic to get them over the top. Something's always happened, whether it was offense getting cold for one game or the bullpen not being able to hold the lead. They've addressed those issues, especially in the bullpen, and that has to give you hope that when we come to the 8th or 9th inning, that we're going to shut you down when Durant come up and the flames come up and the lights go out and the cell phone lights come on. Man, you have to feel good about that, but you have to get there. And I gave that speech in the middle of the summer because, yes, they should be tired of hearing about the 2018. No, I was tired of hearing about the 1980 team. I'm sure you guys were tired about hearing about not winning.
Right.
And then it's like, it's our turn. When is it going to be our turn? It's not hope. It's not hype. It's a belief that this is our year. And the way they finished the season, they have whatever it takes, in my opinion. That difference, that difference maker, and the mentality of going out there and having urgency and believing they can win, I think this is it.
And the way they finished the season, I got a chance to do the end game when it was Phillies in L.A., Ohtani on the mound, Sanchi on the mound. And if you remember, the Phillies had just clinched their playoff spot. So what's it going to look like in that next game? You know how it is. You celebrate a little bit. Some players may or may not be in the lineup, but everyone's in there.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, Sanchi gets down to the Dodgers. But he stayed in that game for 6 innings to keep his team with a chance to win the game, and they came back and won it in extras. That's going to be a big statement, I think, setting up for Game 1 tonight. The fact that you've had issues, you faced adversity against this team in their ballpark. Now you're getting a chance to do it here. Now, it's not going to be easy, obviously, with Ohtani doing his thing. But I think the biggest thing that you can't take for granted, when they had that workout and they opened it up to the public.
31,000.
31,000 came, in the words of Allen Iverson, not for the game, for practice. So that intensity is going to be something I think is going to be unmatched.
Keep it rolling.
Now, the Dodgers did break a record. I think 4 million fans this year to Dodger Stadium.
Wow.
But as you two both mentioned it, being in Philly in the postseason, especially when that many came already to see practice, that's going to be some intensity we haven't seen all season long.
And let me add something to that. They were sitting. They were sitting. That's the only thing I don't like about Philly, because Schwarber needs to get that bat just exactly the way he finished. We need those guys to get the feel for
the power hitters,
real fastballs, and the Dodgers bring over also a whole bunch of energy from the last series. I like the energy that they showed during the Cincinnati series, but Philadelphia will make you better by just demanding from you if you're able to block. If you don't block, you're gonna get
eaten alive,
all rattled up in Philadelphia. But that's how we loved it. This guy and I, we loved it that way.
I cannot wait for this bottom of the first. Shohei has never pitched in the postseason. He's never pitched at Citizens Bank Park. That last time out against Philly that you were there, 5 no-hit innings, looking great. As soon as they took him out, the Phillies went crazy. Last 3 outings, he has not allowed a run in 14 2/3. They're saying there is no limit to how long he could go. We'll see if that's true, Mr. Roberts. But also look at that on the bottom. The only Philly to get a hit off Ohtani was Castellanos when Ohtani was a rookie and Castellanos was on the Detroit Tigers. All right, another world. But we are going to finally see Shohei on the mound in the postseason. And Pedro, take us through this. He has an array of pitches. He's not just relying on any one pitch.
Each one of them, I think, is above average.
Okay.
He's got the perfect mentality because he's cool like the other side of the pillow. It's like, this guy couldn't be gifted as much as he has, but he is. And he can do as much as he does with the bat, with the baseball in his hands. Like 100. Wipeout slider above average.
Take a look at these punch-out pitches. This was from that game. So we start off with a 4-seamer, 99, low and inside. He does a little bit of everything, a different strikeout pitch all 4 times here.
I'll tell you what I like, and it's not precisely, the way he went about the pitches. was the tempo on the mound. It was the little time he took to actually execute his pitches and how quickly he did it. He didn't even break a sweat. He didn't even break a sweat. And he went through a pretty good lineup, an intense lineup that will probably make you sweat. But he just breezed by at a great tempo, and I guess he was feeling great. If he's coming with the same stuff that he showed that day, and he keeps the same tempo on the mound, his presence is off the charts. So we have to expect Ohtani to be great as
And we
well.
talked about intensity of that game. One of the things I loved was Ohtani versus Schwarber, 2 MVP candidates. You very rarely get to see the pitcher go at the potential hitter. That's who's chasing to see who's going to win it. And in those particular bats, we saw a strikeout of 99. I don't know if he was amped up and he was feeling it, but it got up to 102. Against Schwarber. Wow. So tonight, with the energy you're going to see in Philly, I expect some 102s. We might even see a 103 out there today.
Man, how do you think he's going to do in that crazy environment?
I mean, as Pedro said, I mean, there isn't anything that seems to rattle him. We got to see him in the WBC where you're pitching for your country and facing his former teammate, Mike Trout, and I was there right behind home plate. He looked like he was up for the challenge, like, I want this. I want it, me versus you. You're the best, I'm the best, and let's see who wins this battle. So I don't see him really buckling under pressure there. And like he said, I like the cheesesteaks. He's smart. He did not go at the fans.
Say that.
He said, this is what I like about Philadelphia, is that I hear they have really good cheesesteaks in the visiting clubhouse. So he knows how to play the game. He knows himself. There isn't anything that he isn't comfortable or confident about. But going out there today, if the Phillies get on him early, that's what I would like to see his reaction when that happens. Because when he's in the driver's seat, it's going to be lights out.
As our president of food, is it okay if Shohei eats a cheesesteak before the game? Would you advise
I hope he
against
eats 5 of them.
The Phillies want you to eat them, and they're so good and they're so heavy. But no, Shohei, do not eat the cheesesteak before the game. Eat it after the game. It is going to weigh you down, but it smells so good.
He literally was asked, what do you know? And he goes, I just know they serve really good cheesesteaks.
Not before the game.
Shohei is one of us. On the bump for the Cubs today, 58 pitches in Game 1 of the wild card. It is going to be the lefty Matthew Boyd. Went 4 1/3 again on 3 days rest, as we are now under 40 minutes for the first pitch for Cubs and Brewers.